ask of you, what do you expect of this seat?
Oh, I hope for something bad. So let's see how much our runners are gonna get short today, basically. And as you see, we're already off. We see triple bombs in Link's house and a small key in Sanctuary.
I did not catch Eastern Palace. Oh, yeah, it's a red pendant in Eastern Palace and crystals in Desert Palace and Tower of Hera.
Yes, it is.
So it looks like we have two races on the very traditional Uncle opening route. Very good choice just for those early two items that are very out of the way usually because, Castle is not that doable for now, so we don't count for those, but there is a pool. Now, Uncle, only a pod container, so not that good.
Yeah. It's like whatever. You do need a lot of health, so getting all of health early is still a good thing.
It's fine if you're forced into a situation where you need to use it. On the other hand, Julian Ninja found a really good thing, which is crabs are dropping bombs today.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It looks like as tradition holds, all of our races are going to be routing in a crab through some of these more standard opening routes. But of course, unless you find an item early on, there's very little reason for divergence at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, considering that we have not seen a lot of rupees in general, it is kind of what it is. But yeah, we are gonna see Julian now heading down into Blind Sut.
And the Lumberjack Cave is holding 10 arrows today, so Aghanim will not be required for that.
And there we have the Moon Pearl in Blind Sut.
Interesting. It doesn't do a lot on its own, though.
And we also have our first seal down there. So yeah, even though Moon Pearl is good and all, otherwise Blind Sut is pretty dry.
And this is not the Kakariko we're used to seeing, but of course we're only 5 chests out of the early access 13 in.
Yeah, let's hope for more in Kakariko well. And we find our first glove there as well.
This is shaping up to be as clean cut as possible, and that, I believe, was the fire rod.
Yes, it was. A very nice find there for Julian. And the others as well, because that will make stuff like minimal dome easier. Not have to use too many bombs to clear out those enemies, which can be quite tough sometimes. They can be very unpredictable in their route, in how they move.
Absolutely, they can just dodge everything that you throw at them. Literally.
So, seeking cube for Julian, and finds him the red boomerang.
Well, it's not the kind of weapon you're looking for, but it's a stun weapon. It has its uses.
Yeah, it has its uses, definitely. And they have some 300 in the tavern as well. So,
Sure,
quite a lot of items.
good.
So, we have now for ball merchants as well, which gives us some more bombs.
I was going to say, yeah, they must be happy to just find that just lying there. Considering everyone's walking around with 50 to 60 rupees, there hasn't been much other than the guaranteed stuff in Kakariko in terms of money. So they couldn't afford the bottle vendor before that.
Yeah, certainly. So we see some more money on the library. And on the race game, we find some more bombs.
You know, as far as Kakarikos go, I mean, this is kind of underwhelming. sure you do have 2/3 of a Darkhold access. It's completely possible you're being led astray. You know what Gloves and Fire Rod tell me? Maybe a potential book in play soon?
Yeah, absolutely. That is absolutely a possibility. We're gonna see Julian though dropping down into the back of his cave. Which might actually be a good idea considering that they did get the small key earlier. They could use the fire rod to light up the way if they want to do that down there. But Julian decides to quit after seeing that bottle.
It makes perfect sense that you wouldn't necessarily want to go to the sewer chest right now. You're probably going to go get the 3 chests at some point in Hyrule Castle anyway. And based on that, you can decide whether or not that's actually the map. So it could be just time saved.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna get a Lake Hylia check here from Julian. And just a red rupee today.
Jolo Ninja's boomerang shot just gets absorbed by the vision cone of a guard there. Remember, if the guards haven't aggroed you, they will deflect your weapon with their vision cones. They can literally shield themselves with their eyes.
Yeah, quite strong, definitely. A little bit of an OP ability they have there. So we are seeing a red rupee, another red rupee, and a third red rupee in Shasha's closet.
Wow. You just robbed an old man. Literally, that was his entire life savings right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have some damp arrows in the dam. And the ether inside of the dam.
You're making a play on Eastern Palace here. I absolutely love this, given that we're looking at an Eastern pendant. It can definitely hide something. You're probably not going to come back here ever, so it's perfectly nice.
Yeah, absolutely. You can just go in, get the stuff in here, and then leave and never have to come back here. So definitely a good play. Ooh, nice double hit with the fire rod there for C Diesel.
Yeah, that's a huge magic economy thing right there. He only had 3 shots and made the best use of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, Titans.
I was about to bury Minimaldo Cave. I really was.
I'm not surprised, and that means we have our Dark World access.
We do, but also you're so under-equipped to go Darkhold right now. Do you do it, or do you wait?
It is definitely a gamble going there very early. And we see Technolink actually going down to that cross dark room. A piece of heart for him.
So that's nice, because anyone who clears the castle at this point is going to be inclined to do the same. They'll, of course, find the map in the front, which we know is right there. Which means they probably wouldn't feel too comfortable about leaving an item that's not too hard to get, and you will never come back for it unless you do it at that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some cash and a boot requires the big red bomb. We're gonna be shopping for 5/6s this seed.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if the desert turns out that it is one of those boot locked locations, and if that is our only access into Mystery Mire.
Now the question is, because we haven't seen a single 5/6 yet, of course no Dark World map check, how badly are those boots buried? It's possible that they're literally behind, like, I don't know. What's the worst here? Mystery Mire and Turtle Rock? Probably?
Yeah, absolutely. Considering that the boost is one of the items to get into Mystery Mire, you have to find a hookshot then. and Turtle Rock just being one that you want to save for last because it's really close to Ganon's tower.
There's another interesting thing to note about this situation is that it's a pendant Eastern Palace that had this hint. Now, of course, that may not have been the guaranteed boots hint because it was a dual hit, right? That was definitely not the guaranteed boots hint. There's another one seated somewhere out there. But at the current point in time, the only one with this knowledge is Juno Ninja, and it's very likely that anyone that picked up the mids is not going to get that.
Yeah, that is very true. And it looks like Etium is gonna do some fake flippers. Makes sense considering that he does have the Moon Pearl, can check out Waterfall Cave, he can do the Hermit, and he can also do Sora. And look at those 5-6 crystals.
Oh, that's Turtle Rock. Well, that's... By the way, before we forget, green pendant in Ice Palace and blue pendant in Misery Maya, 5-6 in Turtle Rock and Skullwoods, but Turtle Rock, locking boots at this point, maybe, possibly you would gamble not getting it depending on item layouts?
Yeah, but at the same time, it's very possible that Desert can be boot locked. So you can go, if you get the book, go to Desert Palace, get an early information if it is boot locked. If it isn't, then you know that you can just clear it out immediately then and don't have to worry about it.
Let me lay out a much more appealing scenario here for chat. What if Ganon's Tower's boots locked? What if you only find out with the torch troop that you actually need to deliver that bomb?
That is also very, very true.
We're getting our first view of Village of Outcasts here from S. Diesel. Etienne, I believe the first one to sequence break the Zora domain, although only the Waterfall Ferry here is an actual sequence break.
I think Technolink also went there at first.
Oh, Techno already did it. Alright. I need a better field of vision for this, like, 2x2 races thing. It's so hard to follow sometimes, especially when the routes are diverging this hard, and they can in the early game.
You kind of learn to become cross-eyed when you do enough of them.
The problem with that is that even that doesn't work because you'd need 4 eyes to point in different directions. But I guess that's why you're in the booth with me.
Yeah, absolutely. Then again, when there are league matches, you are also 2 commentators, so they expect you to have good enough eyes to look at 2 screens at the same time. There's a lot of digs over in the digging game, and it rewards S Diesel a shield as well.
Yeah, it's this is the week of disappointing digging games. Yesterday we saw 27 digs. I don't know how many that was, but I'm 100% going to count the next one.
Yeah, I think it was around 15.
And for the record, the maximum amount of digs the game can expect you to do in that game is
Ooh, that's the lamp. So Stumpy has a lamp today.
It's not much more than a convenience item at this point, though. I mean, all of these racers, I'm sure, are comfortable with dark rooms, although, yeah, of course, lamp makes everything a little bit more fun, but you do have that fire rod, which is your one-stop shop for fire-related stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we can see Hype Cave from S Diesel. There is our hammer, and the flute, the bloomerang, and another bottle. That is definitely a Hype Cave today.
Yeah, that's 10 out of 10. That's what we call a 10 out of 10 these days.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so now you have the hammer, the mitts. You actually have quite a few options just laid out before you, and with that fire rod, we actually have a completable scoreboard right here as well. No, we don't, because sword. My bad. Speaking of which, where are the swords?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, at this point, I'm gonna have to assume you're gonna have to do either Skull Woods or Pod Dip to get them.
That was
Or even-
26, by the way.
Ooh, that is quite close.
Yeah, that's 27 yesterday, 26 today. What is going on with the digging game this week?
And on the League Masters as well, which is normally what I do commentary. I have done commentary for these last 8 weeks. Digging game has always been a lot. Current meta is that digging game is a lot of. But we are seeing the world tour here from Technolink.
Yep, picking his lamp up from Stumpy, and he's going to be very happy to follow this up with a hammer and flute. You know, it's not the worst smith chain that you can ever get. That flute is going to get you a very swift delivery on the purple chest, so maybe that won't be hiding anything that will let someone with last location today.
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't miss that, but we have our blue mail in Cess game. So at least some defenses to be gotten.
And boy, will you need it, because at this point, if you dip Thief's down, which as Diesel is doing right now, you are looking at a hammer blind. Oh, no,
or
you're not.
unless you find the sword in the 4th chest.
Yeah, why can't we ever have something nice? Why can we just not put that sword somewhere else?
Yeah, absolutely. And we see Etium actually going to the back of Skull Woods here as well, so it's also quite a gamble dip.
Yeah, it's going to be extremely disappointing for him, because at this point he missed Hype Cave by not going south, which means he does not have a hammer, which means he does not really want to go Thieves Town. Now he's going to the back of Skull Woods, and where would he get a sword? Well, as we know now, in Thieves Town. So he's absolutely not making the wrong play in terms of playing odds, but he's making the wrong play of this seed.
I'm gonna assume that he hoped that because Skull Woods was one of those 5-6 crystals that it was gonna have progression for him.
The goose is loose on Technolink's screen.
Yep, it is. We see Julian now also decided to do Thief Town dip. Which makes sense, it's one of the easier palaces in the Dark World.
It is, but at the same time... Oh, go ahead.
Some powder in Sunshine Room and the cape from the smith.
Cape smiths. How do you make a cape with a hammer?
Asian technology is what I'm gonna chalk up there.
So,
Ooh, Silver's on Desert Ledge.
Right, the game's not letting me say anything. We have an item onslaught right now.
They don't stop coming.
Well, it had to start happening at some point, right? It was a fairly... okay, we are actually kind of in the mid-game. Once you enter the Dark World, you consider that the mid-game, but otherwise, other than your Dark World access, the Light World really didn't have anything. Okay, you had Fire Rod, but... So, Thieves Town, in terms of difficulty, there's a sword in
You never get to finish your sentences at this point.
Thieves Town is an extremely difficult dungeon to do with hammer, please. Okay, I think we got it.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah, we also did see that there was bombos required for Meyer. Hopefully we don't have to go there ever.
It's 2 items unlocked behind that Bumbos medallion at this point, and a pendant that has less value than the green one. Very unlikely that we'll ever require that.
Yeah, for all we want is that we will never see the bombos. I was seeing SD Diesel doing a blind fight, and he did not actually do the script tactic, but he did it good in any other way then. And there is bombos.
Oh boy. Well, I mean, at this point, you can open it up but not go in. So maybe it's still not that big of a deal. Of course, we'll have to find Hookshot eventually, Swamp Palace being crystal and all.
So for the best case for our runners here would be that Hookshot is on Torch, because that locks Mystery Meyer incredibly hard.
So while we're looking at the best case scenarios, what is the worst case scenario? What can we see on pedestal here? Flippers obviously could still occur there. Bow can't be. Ice Rod could be.
Yeah, the bow could be there.
No, the bow can't
No,
be
no,
because of
eastern right.
Hookshot, Flippers, Ice Rod.
Cape?
Well, we have Cape.
Nay, Quake.
Oh, Quake. Sorry. Yeah, Quake. Absolutely. Mirror can be there.
Yeah. Ooh, we are seeing Spy Cave from Techno.
It's a risky business with 8 hearts, but he's okay.
We did get a green potion earlier, so.
And two entire bars of magic should be able to do that with, like, regardless of your total heart count.
Yeah. Although he did not have the full magic bar when he went in. One of the bad cases now here that someone points out is that Flippers in Turtle Rock.
Flippers cannot be impaired because of Ice Palace, of course, yeah. But who uses Flippers to actually get into Ice Palace?
Yeah.
Etium is doing the very, very big world tour of the Smith, now actually dragging him all the way to the pyramid. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Smith went all the way to Catfish. Can't take this to Pod because, you know, Kiki replaces the frog.
Yeah, and even if Kiki would have only been delivered, Pod is too scared of a place for the Smith. He doesn't want to go.
Yep. You can't take the Smith into any dungeon or cave with multiple entrances. So for the most part, we see 3 of our runners were retracing each other's steps on the top right and, well, top and right. Etium showing us something new.
For the last set of races that I had to do commentary and tracking on, the Catfish has been really good. We have to see if he continues here.
It's definitely one of those places. If it has an item, then it can stump you for quite a while. It's very hard to route in. At some point, you just have to take that. Oh no, that's just a bottle. So that's an extra long trip for nothing.
Yeah, so fairy in a bottle, good. If you get hit and would die, you get back up, sure. But we do also see that a lot of runners do like to do these death warps. And since I don't have mirror yet, death warps is more likely. So getting that is just a little bit of irritating.
Exactly. At this point, if you just happen upon a bow and suddenly you have a full crater roll as darkness, you are probably going to be death warping out of the dark maze. And if you forget to release that fairy, that's a very unpleasant surprise.
Well, I have seen a lot of those happening down in Hyrule Castle prison.
I am not ashamed to admit that it happens to me all the time.
Hey, I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed of it. It's very easy to forget about it. So I just kind of just laugh it off when it happens to me. Wow, we will have a very long extended tour of the Smith for Etium.
Yeah, Smith is going places. So this is fine for now, but the moment Etium is inclined to enter anything that the Smith doesn't want to, it's going to be very awkward. Fortunately, on the South Shore, there's not going to be anything of the sort. In fact, has the mix, so why is he repulling the dam? Did he not do the dam? Did he just do minimal dam?
Yeah, there is a route when it comes to the start of the game where you do minimal into Ice Cave and you wait with the dam until you're going to the desert in case you never find Flute or the boot, or you found the boot.
Interesting. That's new to me. That's
Yeah,
a new meta strat, isn't it?
yeah, kinda. There is a lot of different ways you can route South Shore. The one I usually do if I get early boots is go down to the dam, then head over to desert, save and quit in desert in Angina Cave if I can't enter desert palace, and then I go down and continue with South Shore, which is the usual one we would see. But what probably happened was that Etium did the like reverse route where you first go down to Minimoldum, then go to Damp, and then go to the desert. But because he found Titans-Smith, he just decided I can hold up with Dam.
So in the meantime, we found the shovel on Morphula.
Yeah.
Which is, once more, not actual progression.
Yeah, if we just find the mirror, then we could have a very nice route of K45 and the dig spot, but I'm guessing we're not gonna see that.
No, at this point you'd probably just walk out of your house and do it. That mirror being completely out of reach, as far as we know right now. But okay, here's my question then. Where do you actually go? Because we are starting to run low on the good locations.
At this point, I am gonna have to say dip into pod, because we could then check if it is bow locked, and if it's not, there is a lot of items in there.
I have an alternative suggestion, which is a bit crazy. Why not just sequence break Ice Palace? If Pod has the flippers, then Ice Palace probably has the value.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it isn't Bumper Cave, at least. The Bumper Ledge.
Nope, that's just $50.
But yeah, we do also have Cave, we have Dig Spot. Then
We're looking at basically cleaning up the fetch quests that we got. As you said, we have that powder and the hammer with it, and we also have the shovel, but then really just Pod that we haven't seen so far.
yeah, and if you want to follow the logic after that, then it is Pod. Plus, the one thing that also pod gives is that we also have that very nice hint at the start, which you can get without the bow as well. So you can get some good information from that one.
I mean, I'm going to continue arguing in the favor of Ice Palace at this point. It's a green pendant, so open up an additional location next to Pod. If it's the bow in Ice Palace, then suddenly Pod becomes so much better, skipping that logically forced double dip.
Yeah, absolutely.
Regardless, we are very swiftly getting to a point where these dips will be necessary, unless, of course, the fetch quests turn up something. So, I'm going to let the racers write this one out, because I sure wouldn't want to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chat noting out as Diesel at this point is checking Spear 1 location. So the thing about this is it's perfectly logical at this point to go Hyrule Castle. You did leave 3 items in there, and you have cleared the 2 easy access dungeons that you have. So now you kinda just want to play the odds, and well, 3 items versus a double dip into Pod versus 2 items in the Mire area. I don't know. This seems like an absolutely reasonable choice to me.
Yeah, absolutely. At the same time, there's a lot of cases where we have seen that first test in pod being our progression.
Yeah, and many times we have seen it being a map, and then there's actually nothing in pod. And well, it kind of has to be at this, well, almost has to be at this point. But you know, they don't know that until they have checked all the locations available to them.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
especially if you have something as relatively dense as Hyrule Castle open to you, you don't want to be that person who misses the bow and then goes pod.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it is getting progressively harder and harder to decide where you want to go. I would at this moment say go to Kakariko, finish off Bad Cave, get the purple cest, finish off Dig Spot, and then head to Pod if you want to follow the logic. But yeah, absolutely. Sequence breaking to Ice Palace can also pay out, but depending on the layout of everything, there could be then something hidden on the hookshot lock side.
That is true. And, well, it's not that big of a deal. If you know the bomb jump, then you can never lose those items. You can always get to them. But yeah, if you're not comfortable, especially with the second bomb jump, well, it could be a problem. So, this is the part of the race where the racers kind of start feeling a little bad about what they're doing, right? You're not making any progress. You're doing all these inefficient checks one after another. And until your progression turns out to be in that crystal dungeon that you can't complete, you'll continue to feel a little bit behind off the back of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright, I think Technolink is running out of options. I think he's... No, I don't think he's done Catfish. I don't know who's desperate enough at this point to start doing the fetch quests. By the way, I want to point out...
Techno's gonna go do Dig Spot. So you're gonna get some new
Yes.
progression, new sex here.
Jolo Ninja also took the Smith all the way to Catfish, by the way.
Yeah.
Right, chat saying he has it. Thank you, chat. I couldn't do this without you. Oh, you mean the powder.
50
$50
rupee for Techni. Okay, Batcave for SD Soul then. 10 arrows. So
Have we seen
either
hammer pegs?
we have not seen hammer pegs.
Alright, so we still have that one odd location. Techno's going for Batcave first, of course. Without the mirror, you kind of have to do it this way.
Yeah. But yeah, that makes it definitely. Then after he had done it, he probably is gonna do go and do the hammer pigs and route in the purple zest at the same time.
And just, you know, as a reminder that we're running low on options, as Diesel walked out of Link's house, fluted back to Link's house, and then started digging.
Yeah.
At this point, we're looking at a very likely scenario where Pod is holding progression. The question is, does anyone make that fake Flipper's Ice Palace play to try and make Pod better? I think Techno's going for it here.
Either that or he wants to get a quick escape up to Sora. But it looks like he's gonna be Ice Palace.
First, we've got extensions.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea because when you buy an extension, you fill up your bomb count.
Okay, the arrow extension is a meme. Don't buy that, by the way.
Yeah.
Especially, you know that Silverzar's on the desert ledge. So you're probably going to get that, desert being crystal and all.
Yeah, absolutely.
First hint, bottle underwater. I do believe we have picked that up.
Yeah, that must be the waterfall cave. And we might see LSD all following. Nope, he is heading up to Sora.
Has anyone actually paid off Zora yet? I think maybe Techno has, because he was so much low on rubies. Ooh, S-Diesel takes a hit while fake flippering. And since we're not doing vanilla behavior, that means instant death. Which is a smidgen closer to preferable than the soft lock that risks a hard lock if you move.
Yeah, it's good that they fixed it in the randomizer. It would have to be a lot more tedious to not see as many runners do the fake flipper.
There's actually practical uses to that, but of course all applications are major glitches, so in NMG it doesn't make too much of a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, it looks like we might see hammer pigs from Etium.
Poor S-Diesel picks up the 4th heart piece, which means no more water walking. You have to go out and back in again.
Yeah, that is irritating. Did you see a hint for Technolink there?
No, and I tried to catch it on Restream. Chat, help me.
Piece of heart in pigs. Okay, the bomb jump here for Techno. Okay then, king of all scammers, what do you have for us today?
Someone in chat said that was 300, and it is indeed 300. So that's actually 60% returns, which is far better than usual.
Yeah, absolutely.
Joe Ninja going into Past Darkness, so we will see the intended progression here. If it's Flippers, and he gets it before Techno finds anything in Ice Palace.
Etium.
Right, like...
Okay, it is Pod. Yes, some blueberries from the lunchbox, so it's gonna have to be Pod then.
Yeah, there's something in pod. If it's flippers, then ice is probably the correct play here. If it's not, then yeah, who knows how much of a waste of time this is on the top left.
At this point, though, I want to see either mirror or hooks out here in pod, because that would unlock a lot of places. And we see that it isn't bow luck today as well. So I can imagine a few of the others who are racing that we aren't streaming have gonna be been here and done that gamble into pod.
Now
Much.
hold on, because there's nothing that guarantees that it's not bow luck yet. You could only get the one key here, and two being on the right side means that you would still need the bow to actually go to the back.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then
Here we have
a
tempered.
tempered sword.
So that is nice.
So the next chest on the broken bridge is either a key or progression. And in fact, I think if it's a key, then the vanilla big key chest also becomes a key.
I don't want to really learn the key logic. It can be so complicated for a few of the palaces.
It's interesting for Palace of Darkness. I don't understand the Misery Maya key logic. That's obviously horrible.
Yeah, they just I think it was that they intended you to go one way, which it didn't anyway.
And it's a mirror. We are Bollock, but mirror is our progression, which means Ice Palace is not likely to have anything for us.
Well, we have to see. Technically, currently fighting Coles there, though.
And it's not all. Techno will be taking that green pendant in as well. Now, if we don't have hint for that yet, that's something new. And I don't think we do. Chat saying we missed a hint for Quake and Hera.
That's quite a good hint.
That is quite a good hint indeed. In fact, I mean, you're going to get that no matter how you look at it. And then Turtle Rock is not going to be an issue for N.
Yep. So checkers for Julian, just a hard container. Gonna see if he continues into desert. Looks like he might. But I do like this play more from S Diesel at this point, heading up the mountain.
I'm undecided based on the fact that we know that Turtle Rock at this point is entirely locking the boots. So, Desert Palace, you probably want to get that information right now, just in case you happen to bumble into Turtle Rock due to a fortunate sequence of events.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, we never even thought about that. No one had been to Egina yet. Julian just picked up the net from it.
Wow. Okay, so Techno decided that to get this single arrow as the price for Ice Palace before checking Egina.
The single arrow of destiny for the green pendant.
Oh, that's so evil. It's a unique item on Sahashla, guys. Oh, I actually hope that we get that hint somewhere. Just unique item on Sahashla. A unique item is with a great fairy, but we know that to be the boots. And that was the guaranteed boots hint, I believe.
Yep.
So actually, that kind of can be good for Techno. It means he can possibly regain that time just through the sheer trolliness, potential trolliness of the hint system. Oh no! Never mind. Julian just got the hint for single arrow specifically being held by Sahashla in Desert. Never mind. Just ignore anything I'm trying to say here. That's a true commentator's curse right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do believe that Desert was not bootlocked.
No, it was not. We have the small key. We are going right. I believe I saw a compass on the torch, so...
Yeah, there's a big key, so it was a compass. Oh, there's
So-
Quake.
It's going to be Ganon's Tower 100% that decides whether or not we are actually getting those boots. At this point, it kind of starts to look a little bit like, unless Bo is specifically in Turtle Rock, we're not getting the boots.
We can also have there are also a few more boot lock locations. So we have to see if those ones comes into play.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, beautiful fight from S Diesel there onto Molom. He's gonna be our first runner to have 3 crystals. And there is the key. I don't know if there's one item left in here in Hera.
I don't know either. Meanwhile, Etienne did the potion camera unlock finger quotes minor glitch that allows us to skip hovering for this back area of pod. So he's going to be checking the whole place.
Yeah, I can buy that.
As Diesel going into the basement, that's an item. Although, do you really want to do it right now? You just opened Paradox Cave and Super Bunny Cave.
Yeah, that is definitely what you have to consider. Do I want to leave this one item?
We're about to find out if it's worth the close to 90 seconds that you have to sit in this room.
Yeah.
For the record, we had the hint for Quake and Hera, but we also picked up Quake and Hera, which is the only item we picked up so far. And in the basement, we got the Ice Rod! Excuse me?
Okay, I want to see Turtle Rock requiring Quake now.
Beautiful.
Now that is an Ice Rod location if I ever see one.
Most races will opt to skip that basement in
It. And there's the blue cane. I thought first it was gonna be the red cane.
Yeah, it would have been nice, wouldn't it? At this point, you could just go and do Turtle Rock if you got the red cane, right? We are not missing anything else.
Nope. It's only red cane at this point we're missing, and there's still a lot of 6 here on the right side of the mountain, so yeah, it's high possibility that we might get red cane here.
I mean, here or in a number of other dungeons that we still. Never mind. I'm just here to use my voice and be wrong.
At this point, you have been the one who have been wrong, and I have been the one who been right.
It's like a messed up, a good cop, bad cop situation, right?
Yeah.
Just pointing out everything that could possibly go wrong.
Yeah.
We also get our 4th bottle, pre-filled with a bee.
Yeah, and now that S Diesel has gotten the cane, he gonna probably head into Turtle Rock almost immediately. Beat it out, be done with it, and then we probably see a Pyramid Fairy at that point. I don't know actually if Diesel have been in Eastern. I think he has, but I'm not 100% sure.
I think that he has been in there, and I'm just basing that on the fact that your dip into Crystal Pod is probably going to be precluded by getting those items out of Pendant Eastern.
Right.
So he did also get a hint for a unique item for Pyramid Fairy from Hera, even if he didn't get the Eastern hint, but I think he has it, and we are probably going to see a big bomb right after this. Why not? I mean, you have everything to get the boots.
Yeah, and we also see that the double bombos today for Meyer and the Turtle Rock.
Turns out that Quake hint wasn't that useful. It can still get you out of a Dead Rock situation.
Yeah, it can. Yeah, you're gonna see Technolink and Julian was making a way through Hera now. Etium gonna go over to Desert first, it looks like.
So while we're not opening new chests here, I just want to point out, Swamp is a required crystal dungeon here. Haven't seen Flippers or Hookshot yet.
Yeah, and that is definitely something that we have to bear in mind. We are still a long away from go mode at this point.
And both of those items could also be on pedestal still.
Yeah.
Which would make Technolink's Ice Palace Dip not that bad. Also, nothing so far from Turtle Rock. And if this entire dungeon ends up being empty, we're very close to looking at something like either just out of the way mirror locations or boots log progression.
Yeah. Okay, keep an eye on Julian now. It's gonna be important to see what he decides to do.
Also, chat pointing out Flippers can't be in pedestal. That's right, because Ice Palace, yes, of course.
No,
Hookshot.
Julian, go back!
Oh no. Well, that's awkward.
Go back!
Please go back.
Maybe if he wish upon a star, he might just turn around. Nope, he's gonna jump down.
The good news is it's on Death Mountain, so maybe if you go into Turtle Rock expecting maybe you'll find the ice rod there, and then you don't, and then you mirror out onto the ledge and just walk to Hera and grab it and go back in, it could still be okay, as long as that's your first thought. I want to preserve this portal.
I guess. Okay, then. Techno, what are you gonna do? Yes! Techno goes in!
Alright, good. I'm going to get a peek at Mimic Cave here from S Diesel.
Yep. Understandable, there's a lot of items left.
And it's just a piece of heart. Alright, so right now we're looking at Judo Ninja heading into Super Bunny. I'm very much anticipating whether or not he actually just enters Turtle Rock here, or he goes on to check mirror lock locations, which would be really bad. Techno, armed with the Ice Rod though, from Hera Basement, is about to pick up the cane and is probably going to follow S Diesel right into T-Rock as well.
Yeah. Ooh, there's flippers in Super Bunny.
Had to wind up eventually.
Yeah. Which make me want to believe that we will see a French vanilla hookshot.
Yeah, this point is looking very likely. So even at this point, if we haven't seen Ice Palace, I would have guessed, hey, there's probably a hookshot in Ice Palace, just go in there. I know, I'm fixated on Ice Palace, but still. But having seen that, it's probably Swamp, you're probably right. Oh dear, Judo's gonna open it up. He's gonna collect his flippers, and I very much hope that his next play is just try and find Death Mountain Ice Rod.
Yeah, I hope for that. Ooh, SDs are getting very low. Yeah, you just go and activate the safety door.
Yeah, when you get hit by that many lasers, you're pretty much obligated to. Absolutely don't blame him, considering bootless laser skips are basically the work of the devil.
Yeah. Interesting enough, Etium decided to save and quit out of Desert after doing the big chest. He might have fought Landmolas first. I don't know though.
We can check his crystal count if he opens his menu, which he should here for the mirror.
Yeah.
Or not, because he's still gotta dip Spectacle Rock first.
Yeah. But then we might see it if he's gonna do the bomb jump across.
Precisely.
We see SD Soul almost at the boss now.
Etium has 3 crystals, so he did complete Desert.
Okay, so this bomb jump that we saw Etium just beautifully nailing, it's actually quite hard because of the gap being a little bit too big. You have to, when you're bomb jumping, clip a tiny bit into the wall so that you get a little extra distance. So it is quite specific bomb jump, even if it doesn't look like it.
It's a very weird thing when it comes to jumping the 3 wide gaps like that one. And as you mentioned, it usually depends on some sort of environmental clips. You can do the same thing for the Turtle Rock Big Chest using the railing.
Yeah. And I believe I've seen that once, and that was in a tournament match.
I mean, it's something that doesn't come up too often unless you're playing Entrance Randomizer or Major Glitches. Or Inverted, possibly.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Diesel had a beautiful fight there on the Trinex.
For those who blinked in the last 30 seconds, yes, he did fight Trinex.
We are seeing Technolink also entering Turtle Rock now. At the same time, Julian is about halfway through Turtle Rock.
Yes, and he does not have that ice rod. It's just so painful because we know.
Yeah, we're gonna see if Etium decides to go down to basement after this as well soon. But look at where Diesel went. Nope, he's looting away.
He's looting the dam? No, he's looting the Maya. Well, I mean, it makes perfect sense, actually. He's fluting to Desert Palace, of course. Haven't done that yet. It's a crystal. You're gonna have to full clear that place anyway.
Yeah, but at the same time, he probably knows that the boots is in on Pyramid Ferry. So why have to make that? Why make that possible return trip if that is the case?
I mean, the only logical answer to that one, and you're absolutely right, is that he does not know.
Yeah, for all we know, maybe he didn't went to Eastern. I would assume he did.
Still, he did go to Hera. We know exactly that he saw the unique item in held by Great Fairy, and we know that Waterfall Fairy did not have a unique item because that was a bottle. So, given that, he should be able to figure out, even with the information we know he had.
Yeah, at that point, with he saw that was a unique item on the Big Fairy, you could take a guess that that could be the bow then. So I don't know why he didn't want to go check that first.
The bow, or also, like, you know that there's a guaranteed boots hint. You know it's not going to be always obvious, but you know it's going to be a hint that possibly stands out as, say, naming only a single item in a 2-item location. So the reason you're getting a unique item in Pyramid Ferry hint is because it's the boots hint, because it's not naming the 2 items, it's not a location hint.
Alright. We did see Etienne picking up his ice rod as well, so only Julian decided to last location Tower Hera basement.
Yeah, I really hope he does the mirror strat here, just going out and finishing up the rest of Death Mountain. I mean, he doesn't really have too much that's not mirror locked, so it could be a Hail Mary that, hey, I'm just gonna go Hera basement because I left that behind. Maybe if it's the ice rod. At the same time, it's Hera basement.
Yeah. I have one idea why Julian decided to skip Tower of Hera basement. Just a few minutes ago, we were basically lost locationing a lot of places. So maybe he wants to gamble that there isn't anything there just to make up time.
I mean, it's sort of the effect that I mentioned earlier, is that you spent so much time in the Dark World, getting all these inefficient checks out of the way. You start feeling behind. But if you don't recognize subsequently that, hey, I had to go into a crystal dungeon, get a progression item out of it, and not only I couldn't complete it, I also couldn't logically go to like 75% of it. You don't recognize that, then in your mind you still feel behind. You might feel the need to make gambles like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
He is doing something, and he pulled out the hammer in Paradox Cave, which means he's going through that ridge.
It could mean that he's doing Spy Cave at the same time.
He's doing
the book
tablet.
Yes.
Where did we get that? I missed that.
Probably Talorock, I guess, because Technolink does not have it yet.
Yeah, it's probably all the way on Laser Bridge then. Roller Room.
No,
okay.
We are getting Roller Room from the chat. Oh no, he's floating away.
When you're just standing right next. Oh. For a moment I thought he changed his mind and went back to 1. Oh no. Well, okay. This isn't necessarily bad. If he decides at this point to go into Ice Palace, he still hasn't lost the portal as long as he death warps after completing it.
Yeah. But right now, there's 2 locations I am looking at where we can get our progression. One is Swamp, which is looking like these are heading to, or you get the boots from the Big Ferry and then go into Meyer, to Mystery Meyer.
Oh boy, those are very appealing options.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think the right play is to go into Swamp, right? If the hookshot is right there, well, then it's right there, and you're able to complete it. If it's not, well, you can assume that everyone else did the same thing. So if you have a comfortable lead, just go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are gonna see the big red bomb from S Diesel.
You know, maybe the reason he did this was that he expected to get possibly Bow out of the desert. Because then, you could go back into Powers Darkness from here pretty fast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Etienne took the long way around, but no. He wanted to take a short way around, but then realized he doesn't have a hook shot, so he went in circles for quite a while, and then is now doing the long way.
Yeah. And there we have the boots.
We are in fast mode.
And it looks like S Diesel is gonna take those boots up to Catfish. Or?
No, I'm very sure he
says
did
he's mine.
Catfish.
Where is it gonna float? 6 or 7? It is 7, so it's gonna be a Swamp Palace then.
Well, if you want to go Swamp Palace, you flew to 4, which I guess he just realized in the heat of the moment. I guess 7 isn't as bad either, but it's not up.
Well, I have done that mistake a few times as well, so I don't blame him. But we do see Trinex for Techno.
And we see Ice Palace for Juro Ninja. Of course, I mean, it makes sense. Where else would you look for a rod that creates ice?
I guess. Well, depending on how they thought about how they would do Swamp, maybe there. A piece of heart in the cave. Thank you, game.
Yeah, thanks for that one. Oh, hey, look, a small key in the first chest of some palace. What are the chances?
Yeah, that's very nice of it. So,
by the way,
that basically tells us that this is not key sanity, and there is a hookshot.
it's not even doing the thing where, alright, I'll just put it all the way on the right side. In fact, I'll put it in the big chest on the vanilla location behind the vanilla big key. No, it's just yeah, take the hookshot, go. You need this.
Yeah, I've seen you be tormented enough. Here, just have it. But it was, as I said, French vanilla hookshot.
Oh yeah, you turned out to be right again. This time, though, I did not disagree, so I get to be right once as well.
Yep. Well, we can then kind of say that your curse is broken.
Well, now the interesting question being, is this bow actually here as well? Or are we going to have to go into Maya for it?
That is the question.
And if it is here, how deeply is it here? I think S Diesel is taking no chances here, going for the route that takes you through the left side and then to the boss fastest, which is going left side first.
Yeah, that is probably the right source here. Let's choose pronunciation sometimes.
Technolink picking up that big red bomb and is about to be the second player to go fast.
But yeah, we're gonna see the boost being obtained by Techno. Ethium is about to enter Laser Bridge. Julian doing the Ice Tea room in Ice Palace.
But, oh wait, hold on. Yulo did get the hint where it said, alright, well, that single arrow. Yeah, that's on the green pendant. So, it's only a 3-item diff for him. Also,
Yeah.
left side swap is 21 rupees.
Okay. But at least we know where we're gonna go down. I would laugh if we don't find a bow here. We head over to Mr. Meyer, having to do the cutscene test to find a bow, and they check the hint and it says that the left side swamp is just rupees.
That would be positively disgusting. I love it.
Yep. I'm not saying that it's gonna be like that, but I'm just giving out a fun scenario.
You're just backpedaling in case you turn out to be right again.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many times I have been a bad boy. I don't know how to feel about it. Because I'm often the one who curses our runners.
Map and a big key in this room in Swamp Palace. So now we're going to go upstairs and let's see if he clips out of the stairs without walking back down. No. Curse you, fake layer.
I have only once gotten where I got it on the first try.
I don't know the exact inputs that you need to do, but I do believe it's a diagonal down right. Or tap right and then diagonal down right. Not sure.
Yeah, this game was good programmed.
Yeah, the way it happens is this thing that you see here in Swamp Palace is not actual real layers right now. You're not on an upper layer going to a lower layer. It's all fake. It's smoke and mirrors. So you just walk down the stairs and you're on the same layer, but with a pixel offset, and that pixel offset gets carried over to the top side.
Yeah. We are gonna get K45 here from Techno. Oh, there is the bow!
Alright,
Ladies
well...
and gentlemen, we are in no mode!
We are in no mode, and Technolink has a very good shot of making up some time on S Diesel here, because this means that after he enters Swamp, he is 100% of the time not going to go to the left side.
Yeah.
Which, is it enough to make up for that Ice Palace dip? No, it's not, but... I mean, S Diesel does have the potential to waste a lot of time looking for that bow, especially if he goes into Misery Maya.
And there is half magic for him as he finishes off Argus.
That's just really nice. Everyone's going to get that.
Yeah. It makes the Ganon fight easier, especially if you have not found silvers.
Which also is going to be in the possession of all our racers in about 15 seconds or so.
Yeah, Technolink was the first one to see that there were silvers there, and funny enough, the last one to collect them. First spotted, last obtained. But as you're currently right now seeing them retracing each other's step, make sure to give our runners a follow. They have been putting up an amazing show for us so far. And I have a little other thing prepared here. So, blame me, want to play a little bit of a game?
Sure, why not?
So, I'm gonna give you a question. Gonna see if you know it. A little bit of trivia as well for you guys in chat. So, the file select screen, the fairy cave, and the game over screen music has one thing in common, which you might not think about.
Wait, repeat that. I got the game over music. What's the other two?
The file select and the fairy cave.
I have no idea.
Well, those three share the same music as the World 3, also known as Ocean Land in Super Mario Bros. 3.
Wow. I did not know. But it's also just the same music, isn't it?
Yep.
That makes perfect sense.
Just one of those random fun facts that I don't know why I know about them.
I mean, that's different from my kind of fun facts. My kind of fun facts are usually about how to break this game.
Yeah. Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, at 1:17:39, S Diesel is in go mode!
That's very nice. He also has a full menu card.
Yeah. Well, kinda. He doesn't have the mushroom.
He does not have the mushroom, but he might as well have just turned it in.
Yeah.
Plus, we all know mushroom is just sitting in Ganon's tower.
Yeah, probably. Hey, he might get a full bingo card in after you have cleared out the pod. We have to see.
It's true.
But yeah, S Diesel have definitely cracked the seed at this point. He have been going very, very well. Been routing this pretty well.
I think it's fair to say both him and Technolink did really well. And Technolink did one thing that was not good for his, well, overall position in the race, and that was dipping Ice Palace on the potential payout of, hey, Palace of Darkness has the flippers, so maybe there's progression in Ice Palace. Of course, Palace of Darkness did not have the flippers. Flippers were actually quite late. So that didn't quite work out, and that's basically the only difference between them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, where is Techno going now? Probably to take the boots location up here by Sanctuary.
At this point, you really should just do the gamble. You should just go into Swamp, right? All these
like Julian does.
Exactly. Like, all these fairly isolated locations, well, and they're not gonna help you, like, that much more than Swamp itself, which has a concentration of 6 items in fairly close together chests. You are pretty much guaranteed to get at least 3 of those in a short order, and if you go in and the hookshot is there, well, you are in go mode.
Yeah, Well, in Julian's case, maybe Ice Rod is in here.
Yeah, for his case, this is a huge problem because that's a completely skippable left side swamp. I mean, it's completely reasonable at this point that you don't go back to Hera. It's the issue is he didn't do it well. He was there.
Yeah. So did we remember where the big key was? Oh, you
In
already
his
had it.
inventory. I think S Diesel did everything and then key logic the rest of it, which is why we saw a closed vanilla bit key chest. So it's like, at this point in time, Etienne, who has been an underdog for most of his race, does have a very good shot of catching up to both Julian and Techno, just on the account of different items. All he has to do is take that bow that he will find in K45, because obviously he's checking mirror locations right now, it's not far off, and then just go into Swamp. Never mind, Techno's going to Swamp.
Yep.
Probably after Bombo's tablet. At this point, you probably want to do Bombo's tablet first.
Yeah.
Chat asking the question of Techno checking ped. He had a very good reason to. So he did already gamble on an Ice Palace, did not pay out at all, but he does have a pendant. One of his big comebacks after feeling behind would be, hey, that pendant was required after all. And Hookshot we have identified as the only item that could potentially be on pedestal for a long time now. Of course, we know it's in Swamp Palace, but from his perspective, he does not know this.
Yeah. Ooh, we're seeing Etium checking Ag Lumberjack just to make sure so that Aga 1 isn't required. Which I can kind of why he would do that at this point. But guys, S Diesel has his lost crystal. You guys know what that means?
No, I do not.
In GT, we have a total of 22 chests. One of them holds the big key. I want you guys to put your guesses in the chat. The one who gets right, you get a shout out. And an unlimited number of random seeds.
Wow, that's so much better of a deal than we usually get, which is just a year's supply.
Yeah, I am feeling nice today. What are you gonna think it's gonna be, Blamey?
I mean, this seat hasn't given our runners enough of a problem. Let's do a usual, like, routing divergence causing type of thing. Let's say it's on the right side. In chest number 21, because there was not a small key in Hope Room.
Okay. And we just saw our dreams about Ped being broken as Etium did the Ped check. It was just Chaos Catch today.
I mean, what else could it be at this point? Mushroom?
Yeah, absolutely. The mushroom can be locking an item. If it was for Julian, but that could be where he finds his ice rod.
Oh boy. Alright, we are opening up Ganstar on S Diesel's side, which means we are very close to closing the guesses. If you haven't guessed yet, and by the time you probably hear this, you're too late, so I'm sorry.
So, I'm not giving a guess yet. I'm gonna say number 17.
Alright. Alright. Why?
I switch around numbers. I don't have one which I just locking on. But in number 1 we find a small key. In number 2 we find a piece of heart. And we're gonna get right side for S Diesel.
Well, there goes my hopes of, hey, right side is 21.
I guess.
That moves my guess behind Ice Almost, basically.
Yeah. Maybe it decides to do a full right. We don't know.
I mean, I have seen that just in the past 7 days, so I absolutely wouldn't be surprised at this point.
Yeah. In number 3 we find 10 arrows. In number 4 is the big key.
Well, that wouldn't make my guess right. But, hey, right side big key. So, we are looking for a guess of 4 in chat.
And we do have one. However, he writes something first and then saying. So I'm gonna see if there are any other one. Yes, we have. It is Shicklebird. Congratulations, you get an unlimited supply of rando seeds.
And it is truly unlimited.
Yes, I'm feeling nice today, as I said.
In the meantime, by the way, and I have not been following this chain of events, Etienne is in Misery Maya, about to find nothing.
Yep.
Which is quite sad, because he was on the right track for that bow.
Yeah. So there is it like, who is gonna go to the right place first between our two bottom runners? And to be honest, between for Technolink as well, when he's gonna do that French vanilla gamble.
I mean, from his standpoint, he's got a perfectly clearable pass done. I don't know how much of it he's done so far, but he does have an open right side, so I assume that he's done everything that wasn't a key, and that there's an item on Helmosaur, which he's going to get, and then if it's not the hook shot, he probably makes that Swamp Palace play, like, why not?
Is this all being very low on health? Okay, is Etium gonna check the cutscene test? Oh, I mean the cutscene hint, did I mean?
I mean, you are looking for 2 items.
Okay, that's even better than I proposed before.
He's not getting the compass, though.
Yep. Yeah, that was even better than what I exclaimed before, so I'm happy with that.
So you saved literally no time on that either, because the time it takes to go up and read that hint and then get back down is, well, essentially slower than if you would just drop down and open the chest.
Yeah. Right now, Estes is rushing through the gauntlet. He's doing very well.
Yep, this is blazing fast Ganon style right here. Skipping the chests, he does not want any more items, just gets the key and goes.
Yeah, he He does not want to gamble that the Butter Sword is any of those.
He probably doesn't want to pick up the Mirror Shield, which we know isn't here. But it would make your Ganon fight slower.
Yeah.
And with favorable patterns, you can do a 1+1 with Tempered on Ganon. So Butter Sword in that case would not make too much of a difference. It's just, you know, the difficulty of executing that is different.
Yeah, time for Geometry Wizard. That could have been a triple, but I'm unsure.
I heard two hit sounds. I think it was a double.
Ooh,
No.
it was a triple.
Well, I actually don't know if that was a triple or the first one. I don't think we'll ever find out, and maybe chat knows. I don't.
At the same time, a very beautiful fight for Etium, and he did not even want to pick up the pendant from Missy Meyer.
I mean,
He wouldn't check what's up. Yeah, he knows what's on the pedestal.
That also means he hasn't completed Misery Maya. Just saying.
Yep. And it looks like Etium is gonna go to Swamp next.
That's nice, but at the same time, he's going to do left side for no reason. No,
Yeah.
wait, he's in the area. He could very easily go for K45 and Bombo Stablet before Swamp, just to get... And I think he's going to do it. Yes! Alright, he's going to go mode Swamp. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
Meantime, Miss Diesel getting some cape spins here with Ganon, already in phase 3.
Yeah. He's having a beautiful fight so far. And we see Technolink has also heading into Swamp. He's gonna pick up his hookshot and be in go mode in just a minute. Or even less than that. Just in 10 seconds, basically. There you go. He's now also in go mode. Etium went over to K45 and picked up his bow as well.
It's going to be... Well, no, it's not going to be close, of course. Technolink is an entire pass stocks ahead.
Yeah.
Very nice double, getting the torch glitch subsequently. Completely pointlessly, of course. You could have just relayed and gone for the two singles, but nice torch glitch
And
nevertheless.
there we go. The pig is down. Ladies and gentlemen, the Diesel is gonna be our first runner on the restream. As soon as he passes that bridge, we're gonna get the official time. And the Diesel comes in with an official time of 1:33.27. And ladies and gentlemen, he is also our first finisher on the race as well.
That is very nice. GG to him, and we'll see if he's game for an interview.
And he also got a PB with 17 seconds.
Well, it doesn't mean anything now, does it? It's randomizer. Your PBs are meaningless. It's who found the best seed.
Yep, but it still is bragging right. 17 seconds. It is still a speed run.
I suppose.
Yeah, we do also see Etium now also heading over to Swamp. And look at where Julian is. He's heading back up the mountain. And he looks like he's going to hurry up. Yes, he is. He's gonna pick up his ice rod soon as well.
Wow, that's tight, actually. So
Yeah.
right now we have Etium and Julo basically entering Go mode head to head. Unfortunately, Etium does not have a Palace Darkness finish that Julo does, and Julo also has Swamp out of the way. But Turtle Rock is very slow to re-dip.
Yeah, it is.
So this is about to wind up being a very interesting head-to-head between the two of them.
Yeah, absolutely. There we go, the 7th crystal for Technolink. And we are joined by the winner of today's race, S. Diesel. GG, man.
Oh, GG, thank you.
Wow, I need to make sure to get you a little bit higher.
Oh yeah, sorry, I can be closer.
But yeah, you had such a fun route. What do you think about Seed?
This is actually a really good seed. This is probably one of the best seeds I've played in a while, really. We didn't have to touch a single pinned dungeon. I felt like it was not super linear. Like if you don't check that hint tile about a unique item being a pyramid, it could be a little confusing, but I think that hint kind of gave it away a little bit as to where the seed wanted you to go. I thought my routing at the start was kind of dumb because I checked so many locations and I didn't find anything until I went into pod. And then the second I go into pod, I find the mirror, and I'm like, all right, that was the play right there. Like I could have saved at least like 5 to 10 more minutes had I not putzed around and did overworld stuff. But yeah, I think once you get that mirror in pod, you're good to go.
You always feel iffy about it, don't you, when you go into a crystal dungeon that you can't complete when you have all these locations available to you.
Yeah, that's kind of like my general rule is I don't like going into a dungeon if I know I cannot finish it. So I'll do overworld stuff and like I'd say like it's like a 50-50 thing. It sometimes bites you and then sometimes it kind of plays off and you find stuff that you need to go
As
do
it
other dungeons.
as it happened with Swamp Palace.
Yeah, Swamp Palace was another one like that. Yeah, that was kind of a gamble. I had other stuff to do in the overworld, but I was like, you know, I'm right here. I got everything I need to go into it, and Swamp lately has been having key items in it, whether it be in the first chest or, you know, West Wing or whatever. And I would say that was probably the biggest gamble that I made was going into Swamp. So that I'm glad that worked out.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could say you had to head into Eastern because that was the other hint about the boots.
Yeah,
Was there a hint about boots? Because I didn't find one.
Yeah, the
Eastern
one
Palace
the one
spoiled it.
Yeah, it told which two items it was.
Okay. See, I didn't even. Yeah, like this seed worked out. You didn't have to touch a single pendant dungeon, and I could have checked Eastern when I was in pod, but once I got the mirror, I had other stuff to do, so I just prioritized that over everything. We had our early T-Rock too, so that kind of worked out a little bit, even though T-Rock didn't really have anything. I picked up the flippers after that, and then that's kind of what prompted me to go check Swamp eventually. So
Yeah, there's a lot of time actually where the hookshot appears in the swamp.
yeah, that's always fun.
We didn't actually follow your mid-game routing exactly very closely, and we saw you come out of Turtle Rock, not going to Pyramid Ferry right away, despite getting the hint. Well, you didn't get the hint, of course, but at that time we figured, hey, well, I mean, Pod's a crystal dungeon that you have to dip without being able to complete it, so why wouldn't you go Eastern? But you ended up not doing that, so that was one of the things that confused us, is, hey, there's the boots, go get them right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew there was a unique item there. I just didn't know. I mean, obviously, if I knew it was boots, that would have been the first stop. But yeah, just like I did all my routing according to like the overworld stuff. I when I found the bow, I wanted to leave that section for last because I was gonna do purple chest, the cave south of the grove, and then go do bombos. But I was gonna go do bombos after I found the bow, but I found the bow and I didn't need to. So all the routing just really worked out. I'm really glad about this seed. It all came together pretty nicely.
You want to know one thing that happened?
Yeah, sure.
We did see Technolink fake flipper into Ice Palace and doing the bomb jumps, going down to a cold stair, finishing that, and then turning the green pendant.
No way.
Yes.
I thought about going into ice.
I mean, it's a reasonable play at that point. You know that you've cleared everything else, and Pod has some sort of progression. Now, if that progression is flippers, suddenly you are very much inclined to go into ice, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. Like that was an option right there. I had bombos, had fire rod. You pretty much had everything to go into. The seed was almost saying go into Ice Palace, but I mean, and sometimes that actually pays off big time going in there early.
And then we were joking about, hey, well, I mean, Sahashi had a unique item, so Techno has a unique opportunity to come back into this if, say, a hint turns up that says the green pendant is locking a unique item, but then immediately after, I don't know who it was, read the Desert Palace hint, which was as blatant as it gets.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And hey, look, we found red mail. It was in Random Room.
So, circling back to the hint that you found in Hera, there's a very good reason to be suspicious about that hint. There is obviously a boots hint that will turn up guaranteed. But especially if you get a hint like, hey, there's an item in Pyramid Ferry, and it's not 2 items, then you can already rule out that it's a location hint. The location hint will give you both items. So it's a very good way to identify that maybe the boots hint.
Yeah, I really like that hint because at the time when I was thinking about Pyramid and I looked at what items I had and what I didn't have, it made sense that something be in Pyramid because Swamp and T-Rock we were able to do pretty early. So, or not Swamp, but Skull. We were able to do those dungeons pretty early, so it really did kind of point in that direction to just go check it.
I mean, absolutely. If you get the opportunity to get a T-Rock out of the way that fast, obviously requires a whole lot of items, and you find basically nothing in T-Rock, then you immediately start thinking about, hey, if it's a 5/6, then maybe the seed gave this to me to do Pyramid Ferry for some sort of progression.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that was pretty much my train of thought.
But in the end, it turned out not to be progression at all. It's just a convenience item, really.
It was a convenience, yeah. Well, I mean, still, it was nice because, I probably wouldn't have gotten the first place. Well, I definitely wouldn't have gotten the first place without finding the boots. So, but yeah, that definitely definitely worked out.
Yeah. And right now, guys, look, we have a bit of a head-to-head here between Technolink and Julian.
I was about to point out that they swapped positions in terms of restream just purely because of GT routing decisions. This is a big difference that a right side key can make, or right side big key, is that, hey, do you take that first big key that you find in Hope Room and go into the right side? Or do you do a full left? I mean, both of those routings make sense. Julio Ninja ended up picking correctly.
Yeah.
If you have any other thoughts, Diesel, feel free to.
No, I mean that's pretty much it. Just again, this was a pretty solid seed. Yeah, it was fun.
Etium is also going full Also going right.
Yeah, that I was really happy about. I always go right side if I get a small key, and I was super excited that finally a big key is on the right side, because it usually never is.
I mean, it's the go-to strategy, though, isn't it? You pick up a small key in Hope Room, then you go right. If you don't, then you do full left. That is what essentially the meta is all about. So
Yeah.
even if you decide to do that, then you're basically not behind most of the people that you're racing against.
Right, exactly. So, but yeah, I'm gonna hop out. Thanks for the race, everybody, and thanks for the commentary, guys. And everyone have a good one.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you
being
for
agree with the restream.
Absolutely.
thank you.
GGs.
Thank you for the news.
Coming back to a very tight race here, Judo Ninja just passed Moldon 2, Lambo 2, sorry. Technolink finishing off Lambo 2, and Etium heading up in the second Mimic Room right now.
Yeah, we have a
Anything
race
can
going
happen.
here. Yeah.
Anything can happen based on Ganon rolls here.
Yeah, just imagine. I don't think it can happen, but just imagine if Julian Ninja would fall on phase 4 Ganon. That would mean that Technolink would get the lead at that point.
In fact, like it doesn't even have to be Ganon at this point. If Judo Ninja falls on Moldon 2 and Technolink ends up having a clean Moldon 2, this could flip again.
Yeah, absolutely. And
This-
Etium is not that far behind, actually, either.
There was also the possibility right there for Judo Ninja, and I'm still gritting my teeth over that one of these falling Ganon Sour. You have to be very careful with the torch lighting strategy, because if the torches go out on the very same frame as you go to the upper reaches of Ganon Sour, sprites despawn, and you are unable to finish up. You have to mirror out.
Yeah. It was very close there.
Especially if you like get hit by the laser while you're pathing up those stairs, it's better to just wait for the jingle.
Yeah.
Very friendly Moldon 2 pattern, not gonna have a full there. So again, it could still come down to Agatu execution, Ganon execution. Just not
Yeah.
even necessarily a mishap, just a better, cleaner execution from one side.
Yep.
Ooh, Techno missed the spin, and now
And
gets
it was a
Moldon
poke.
2.
It was a poke as well, so he had to do Enrage Molom. He does it either way, but that could have been very, very easy.
He didn't even take a hit there, so very lucky not to fall.
We saw the same there for Julian as we saw on S-Diesel. A single there for Julian.
So far, it looks like the same as for Diesel as well. Oh no, he gets 2 doubles. Oh, that's so bad.
And the single to finish it off.
As you can see, in the randomizer, Aga patterns are all seeded, so every racer will see the same Aga patterns. And the first time you fight
That's a
Ganon,
triple for Techno!
beautiful triple.
There
So,
is
as I was-
basically about 15 seconds between them then.
Well, I didn't keep track of time. Judo Ninja landing on top of the pyramid at 1:49.02. See what Technolink gets here.
Okay, 16 seconds.
16 seconds, pretty much spot on.
Yep,
This is tight.
it is gonna be.
Joe going for the naked spins there. Gotta be very careful not to be moved into the fire bats. So far doing very well. Even finds that position where you can just stand still. I think that's enough to go directly into phase 3. Very nicely done. Techno going for some slashes here. I don't know if that's going to be enough to get Ganon into phase 3.
I think it will be.
Right,
Because of that cape.
Yeah, the Cape absolutely came in MVP there. So it looks like they're getting the same amount of slashes to, or same amount of cycles to get into the phases. They're going to get the same teleport pattern because seeded RNG.
It is gonna be about the silvers here then.
Yeah, absolutely.
One miss of double here could be game changer.
Yeah, Julo went for the single, didn't even go for the double. Definitely a very good opportunity for Techno to come back. Gets a second hit, no torch glitch by the way, so going to have to relight both torches here first.
Techno gets double. There we have the finish for Julian. There's the finish for Techno.
You know, just based on the silvers, if Techno doesn't mess up on Moldom 2, he's ahead here. That's close. He didn't even fall, he just took 2 extra hits to finish off Moldom 2. And that's the difference.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we see Julian finishing off with 151.03. That earns in 9th place in the race, and Techno finishes off in 10th place with 151.13. So 10 seconds between.
GG to both of them. That is a crazy small difference for a seed this long.
And we're joined by TechnoLink. How are you doing?
Hello, can you hear me?
We hear you loud and clear.
I think that went well. I'm not too sure.
Tell us about the unique item that you found on the Kakariko Village Elder.
Oh, it was amazing! Like, it was the best item ever, because without it you can't beat Ganon. After all, you need some single arrows to kill Ganon.
It is true. And tell us how you felt when you found that very blatant hint in Desert Palace pointing to that item.
Very good! Very good! Well, all the efforts were made to do it as slow as possible. But I have to say, yeah, it's on the level of my Master game. I don't know if you guys seen that.
Yeah, I saw that.
So, yeah, now that we've got the troll questions out of the way, tell us your feelings about that seed. I mean, S-Diesel came in here before you, just for the record, and noted how good of a seed it was.
Yeah, it basically came down if you expected that the items that you need for the dungeon are on the way, then you're... and that's what happened when I went up to Turtle Rock. It was like, I have medallions, I have a sword, I have a fire rod, might as well find something. Then I found the ice rod in Hera and I was like, So I went down Spiral Cave and I was like, dang it, wrong cane! That's the blue one! Then... but it was like, yeah, I can't really turn back now, can I? So, continue on to Paradox Cave. Hello! Dual canes.
Quick intermission here. Our 4th runner on Restream has finished with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 53 minutes and 10 seconds. GG to Etium. See if we can also get him in here. Good.
Oh. That is, yeah, but this seed really punished, how do you say, sequence breaking. Like you saw what happened with me in Ice Palace. It's like, at that point it was like, okay, so either there's something on the boss or there's something on Green Pendant, or I'm going to be losing a lot of time.
I mean, to be fair, it's entirely my fault. I cursed you there, absolutely 100%. I did mention, I saw the Ice Palace play that could be made based on a Pod has Flippers gamble from a mile away, so I was not surprised to see someone do it.
Yeah, well, GG Etium as well. I think this is the first time.
And we are joined by Etium.
I decided to full clear Mire instead of going to Swamp, so that cost me a bunch of time.
Did you also go to Ice?
No, I stayed out of ice.
Okay, well, then we both cleared the dungeon we shouldn't have.
Well, probably would have been better to go to ice than Mire, but I don't know. I wanted to make a play, and it didn't work, but I have no regrets.
Same here.
I mean, at the end of the day, it turned out the plays were go to Bristol dungeons that you cannot clear.
Yep.
Techno, you want to know a fun thing?
Oh boy.
So, Julian finished 10 seconds ahead of you.
Yeah, I
Do you
saw
know
that.
why? So, he did not go to Hera Basement directly.
There was an interesting dynamic between the four of you, actually. Like, for the most part, S Diesel was breezing through the seed and ended up with a hookshot go mode, and then Julio was right behind him, but without the ice rod. And then Techno, I don't know if your go mode was bow or hookshot, but you did a pretty good job catching up despite the ice palace play. Though, by that point, unfortunately, Etienne and Juro were both on your tail.
Yeah, well, I guess the thing was I saw a key, and I was literally at the moment the key spawned on Moldorm. I was like, okay, so, what to do now? Do we want to actually check out the key or not? I was like, well, it's just I think 2-minute check or something like that, which turns into a very long check if you don't do it. So that was also a bit of a gamble, but then again, you were already in Tower of Hera. You have the mirror, you have fire.
I mean, it's Sorry, Etienne, you were going to say something. Go ahead.
I'm just glad I didn't screw up the Hera bomb jump. I do that way too much.
Yeah, that costs you. That's the reason why I stopped doing it, because I tended. It's like, how much of a time loss is it if you screw it up? It's quite big.
A lot.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I've
Compared
decided.
to the time it takes, a lot.
Yeah. So I think it takes about 5 to 10 seconds to set up, depending on how fast you are with it, and then you have to go back as well. Oh no, you don't, because it's not hookshot. It's the
Yeah,
jump.
but I just like doing all the little tricks, so.
Yeah, true enough, yeah. For me, I had issues with the Ice Palace bomb jump. It's like, oh, walk into the hole, walk into the hole, walk into the hole. Same actually happened in Total Rock, where I was just getting agitated at a certain point. I was like, I'll just use my green pot to just use the cane.
There is a strategy that revolves around getting your heart slow because the beeps make you concentrate more on executing well.
Well, that is if you do not turn off the beep.
No, you crank it up to double because you're on restream.
I always turn off the beep. And I'm pretty sure that chat is also happy that I turn off the beeps, because... Also, this marks the first run that I did not have to go for additional potions when I actually went for gun and staff.
Congratulations. But
it's-
yeah, are there any other thoughts, any last thoughts from you guys about Seed?
Did you guys see what happened on my Ganon fight? I don't really get what happened there.
The part
Yeah,
that
you can.
survived by a fairy?
Yeah, I was like menuing, and then I don't know. I think Ganon was on top of me, and then I got almost knocked into the hole. Then I died. That was a strange sequence,
So you
but
took
somehow
a
it
fight
worked.
that bit facing the north while Ganon was on the south, so you got knocked to the south, to the other end of Ganon. Now, you struggled your way back up into Ganon, who was currently in that position. And, the only reason you didn't fall off in that spot is because the Ganon hug actually killed you, and then you were right frames. That's basically what happened.
Oh, neat.
Yep.
All right. Well, GG's, everyone.
Yep.
Yeah, GG's definitely.
If you have any closing thoughts, do say them now while I look up what we have coming up today.
I would
well,
have that up.
I have some closing thoughts. 1 + 1 + 1 = 7.
I still don't get what that means.
Is that alluding to potentially a seed that you thought was defeat Ganon, but actually turned out to be Pull Pedestal? Because there's 7 crystals and 1 + 1 + 1
No,
penguins
it's not a
equals
Zelda
pedestal
reference.
pull.
It's a Tron reference.
Well, damn, I did not know this.
Tron as in the Ursa Tron, but people will
Yeah,
know.
it's from the movie there.
No, not the movie. It's from a card game. But
All right.
horrible.
Alright, well, in that case, you do have it pulled up. What's coming up on Speed Gaming and ALTTP Rando today?
So when it comes to Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past Rando, at 8 p.m. we have the league match between Team Kappa and Team 4K 4th and 4Head. That is a mouthful, to say the least. It's gonna be back-to-back basis. The races they are on Speed Gaming 1. There's also spoiler log tournament that has not been scheduled yet where it's gonna be, but there are a lot of matches there. There's also another league match, which is between Leftovers and Fianna Drifters. Also a mouthful. And there's also another one which isn't scheduled yet. It is between the name doesn't say, so GFE 12, Scariolive, Sabaten, and Trinex. So if you know which teams they are on, then you know which teams are going. Or if you want to head over to another very great game right now going on Speed Gaming, we have Ori and the Blind Forest All Cells tournament between Ronnie and Evinia. And if you did see the games done quick, you know that game is amazing when it comes to speedrunning.
Absolutely. And just to, show you with more randomizer content, coming up later this month, starting the ALTTP Randomizer Overworld Glitches tournament, also partly here on Speed Gaming. The tournament starts on the 22nd, and signups are still open, and in fact, you have plenty of time to still learn it. And we do have a interactive tutorial section coming up this weekend for it. Stay tuned for more details.
Yeah, Overworld Glitches is such an amazing one to see. It's definitely a very fun one to see. So we are gonna wrap it up. Thanks so much to our runners. There's Techno, SD Soul, Etium, and Julian Ninja for putting up an amazing show. Thanks so much to our trackers, which today were Dragon Strike and Haiku Type. They basically came in at the last second to fill out those two positions. So amazing job by them. Thanks so much to Speed Gaming for hosting this fun daily races. My name is Angel. That was Blamey, and we are signing out.
Yep. Thank you for being in the booth. It's been a blast, and thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.